success, making success a habit, not a hope.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to be speaking to you today about routines and building routine. In the past, I've talked about how you get what you focus on. So if you want a life that's in control, you need to focus on the things that you can control. Establishing a daily routine is one of those things that you can control. So, just a little bit of background. When I was in college and I started reading different books, I was also very much into biographies. And I found a book one day that followed around a handful of different business executives to see what they did to build success. A couple of them were CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. There was a general manager over a professional sports team, and a couple of Ivy League business professors. And it was interesting to me the consistencies I found with all of them. All of them had a daily routine that they followed. All of them would show up to work at least 15 minutes early to plan their day, and would stay after at least 15 minutes to recap their day. All of them had healthy habits with exercising and eating. And as I've continued to study more and more successful people, I've found these as a consistency, that they have daily routines that help them edify their lives. So, my purpose and what I'm going for today the three things. First, I'm going to teach you why it's important to have a daily routine. The second thing is I'm going to teach you what you need to be including in your daily routine. And third, I'm going to have you build the daily routine worksheet. Now, I actually have these printed off for you. And so just take one and pass them around. And I'm going to teach you how to fill out this worksheet and how to use it to build your daily routine and create a life that's in more control. Now, we need to understand that if we want to affect change in our lives, it doesn't happen just by thinking about it. I talk a lot to people about manifesting, and you do have to start with thoughts, but it's not thoughts that create change. We have to take action. As we take action, we build patterns. Those patterns eventually turn into habits, and as we build good habits, we gain more confidence. Coincidentally, you'll also find that you have more energy and more time to do things because you don't have to take time thinking about it. They just become very habitual. So it is patterns that equal change, not thoughts. Because we'll have a thought and then walk into the kitchen and forget what it was, right? It's action that makes the change. Now, talking about why we need a daily routine, in life, as Wayne talked about, we all have struggles. There's things that happen that kind of beat us down. We lose battles. We give up on things. We get belittled by other people even. All these things cause us to think less and less of ourselves. Now, our brain has a system, reticular activation system, that stores these things up and basically hides them from us to protect us because they can be very damaging when we fall through on our commitments. We don't trust ourselves and we cost ourselves integrity. But because it's hiding it from us, it also still knows that it's there. And when we want to go and do more, it creates resistance that causes us to hold ourselves back. Has anyone ever felt that resistance before? Yeah, you want to do more, but there's something holding you back. You're not even sure what it is. Your brain knows what it is, and it's trying to protect you by creating that resistance so you don't go and hurt yourself more. As a result, when we have objectives that we're trying to work on, we can't really see through the triggers or the walls that are in our way. There's lots of obstacles, and so it's difficult for us to see the end game of where we want to be and what we want to do. Being able to envision that is a struggle because we don't believe we can do it, we're not good enough, we're not smart enough. It's that shoulder devil that I've talked about in the past that holds us back, tells us we're not good enough. A daily routine actually helps us out. When we're going through and we're checking things off that we've accomplished, we're recognizing to ourselves, hey, I did something. I've accomplished this, I am better. And it's helping us rebuild our integrity so that we have more confidence in ourselves. The other thing is because we fall through on certain commitments and then we forget about it or get stored away, we don't give ourselves time to move on from it. We don't give ourselves time to give ourselves grace so that it doesn't hold us back. When we write it down and we have it listed and we're noticing it, we're giving ourselves a chance to recap and say, you know what, I screwed up on this. I can do better tomorrow, and we can offer ourselves grace. So as we add integrity and grace to what we are doing, we become more, and we elevate who we are, and we grow, and we become bigger than the obstacles that were in our way. And we have a clear vision of where it is we want to go, what we want to accomplish, and we can do more. Success doesn't happen by one big thing in one day. It happens by the small things we do every day leading up to it, making it happen. And that is why we need these daily routines. Now, what to put in your daily routine? I like Stephen Covey's principle of sharpening the saw. So sharpening the saw is the principle of renewal. Now, who here has heard of sharpening the saw before? Okay? Basically it says there's 4 areas in your life that you need to be working on every day to improve. Does anyone know what those 4 areas are, or any of those areas? So the first one, I guess I've seen them in all different orders, but you have mentally, spiritually, physically, and socially. These are the 4 areas that you need to be working on improving every day in your life. So as you are coming up with things for your daily routine, I recommend you start here. And you should only come up with 4 things, because if you still come up with too many things, I've had people who've done lists of 10 things that they want to do every day, and it becomes overwhelming, and they just give up on it. 4 things, something simple, things that you can do. Starting off with physical, things like exercise, taking vitamins, eating healthier, going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time. What are some other things that you can do that help you improve physically?
Watch what you eat.
Watching what you eat, right?
Have plenty of water.
Plenty of water, drinking a certain amount of water, for sure. These are all things that can help you out physically. Now let's go on to spiritually. There's prayer, there's meditation, there's journaling. What are some other things that you think you could do to help improve your life spiritually?
Swimming laps has always helped me spiritually because it's kind of a form of meditation.
Yeah, absolutely. Time to clear your mind and moving your body, which also helps your mind keep working, right? For sure. For sure.
Service.
Service. Fantastic. Yes, going out and helping other people. I love it. Okay, socially. What's something you can do socially to help improve your life?
Join Toastmasters.
Join Toastmasters. What can you do every day?
Practice speaking every day.
Practice speaking every day? Okay.
Smile.
Smile. Yes, smiling at somebody.
Open a door for someone.
Absolutely. So I like that, coming back to what Jaron said before, acts of service. One of my favorite things that I had on my daily routine at one point was adding value to someone I didn't know every day, adding value to a stranger every day. And I remember at one point when we were at Rollins coming out of Toastmasters, 8 o'clock in the morning, I decided to go pick up a couple of items, and there was a woman there, a shorter woman, who was clearly in a very big hurry and needed the very last item on the top shelf that she could not reach. And so seeing that she needed this, I went over and I helped her get it down, and she was so grateful and so excited, and I was excited because I'd already added value to someone who I didn't know just by helping her get something off the shelf. And it was 8 o'clock in the morning, like I had done. One of the things on my daily routine. I had never been so excited to help somebody get something off the shelf in my life because I was adding value to her, and I recognized that I was adding value to her life, even if it was just that simple act of service. What about mental? Read. Successful people read. That's one thing that I definitely found as a pattern. They do a lot of reading. What else?
Take your meds.
Okay, will you take your medication?
Positive affirmations.
Positive affirmations? Absolutely. There's podcasts, audiobooks, all sorts of things. So hopefully now you all have ideas of 4 things that you can do in each of these categories for your routine sheet. So let's go ahead and pull those routine sheets out now. And you notice that there are 4 weeks worth on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can fold it up if you want to. We're going to start with 1 week. And you're gonna write down the items that you came up with that you want to include and incorporate into your daily routine to improve your life. Now there's something that I want you to be aware of is, I put a few examples up here, but do not put time limits on it. So if you want to exercise as part of your daily routine, don't say exercise for 30 minutes, because if you only exercise 20 minutes, you didn't get it. Just put down exercise, and if you only get 2 minutes of exercise in, you accomplished it. Okay, same thing with meditation. Don't put a time limit on it. Just say meditate. And if you only have 1 minute to do it, you still get it done. Then you go through, and during the day or throughout the day or at the end of the day, however you want to do it, you mark off with an X what you accomplished. If you had something in your AM routine that you didn't get done until afternoon, give yourself a slash. That still counts partial credit. You got it done. Recognize that. But yeah, it's a spare instead of a strike, exactly. You'll find that usually when you start something like this, the first 3 days, you'll be really good. And then day 4 is when it starts to fall apart. Again, you're building integrity. Mark it off only if you accomplished it, but you're also building grace. You recap your day, you make a plan for how you can do better tomorrow, and that way you can start checking things off. But sometimes things aren't going to go perfect and the week will still struggle. Recap again at the end of the week, reset your plan. If you need to make an adjustment and try something a little bit easier, then do that. But give yourself grace, because you're recognizing where you fell short. You can move on and you can take care of it. Kerry Wilkerson said, we let ourselves down by letting ourselves off the hook. Don't let yourself off the hook. Keep going through it. If you fall short one day, you have another day to pick it back up. You don't have to fall apart. Too many people give up on their goals because they missed 1 or 2 days. You have that opportunity to offer self-grace and keep going. And just throw this out there, if anyone ever is interested in a free coaching and mentoring appointment with me, you can set that up, or you can also follow me on any of my social media accounts as well. And I hope you do well with your routines. Thank you very much.